Good evening everyone and welcome back to SWE. Tonight we have a first episode of Ratings War. Now this is going to be just a little episode of squeezing every now and again. It's going to be pitting people in the rankings who are very close together against each other to see who can get the pluses and the minuses. So we're going to start tonight's show off here with Chris Benoit versus Mago. Now the idea of this show is it's going to be similar to Dark but not quite. So it's going to be the case that we will have a lot of matches that may seem one-sided, but both of these guys currently, Chris Benoit on -4 in the rankings, Mago on -5. Also tonight we'll have Hikaru Shida, who's on -3 in the rankings, taking on Karen, who's on -3 in the rankings. And in our main event we'll have the Undertaker, who's currently on +5, versus Mike Awesome, who's also currently on +5. So it's going to be very much a way to pit some people who are close together against each other to try and sort of develop the rankings to a point where we believe they should be a bit more, if that makes sense. As I say, there'll be the odd one of these every now and again. It's not going to be scheduled. If there's a bit of space in between other shows, we will squeeze one of these videos in. And I think there's an opportunity for these videos. We could actually have the Hardcore Championship or other belts defended on these shows. No reason why not. Should they not tonight, really, shouldn't I? It's been a while since Tito Santana defended his Intercontinental Championship. Nice arm breaker there by Mago, working over the crippler crossface himself, the rabid Wolverine himself in Chris Benoit. So Benoit's had a rough time. He's had some wins, he's had some losses as well, but at the moment he is definitely down the wrong end of the rankings in his consideration. I mean, even a win here is not going to be massive for him. It's still only going to move him to -3, which is going to make it better, but it's not going to make it fantastic for him still. On the plus side, by calling this Ratings War, I have been able to utilise some of the stuff in the creating arena a bit better. I quite like it, actually. We've gone for a very... not sure about the ring rope. I don't know about the ropes, actually. I don't know. I like it. I like it, but I don't know if to like it or not. Let me know if you think there's anything we need to amend in this as well. And that's all I want to do. I feel like I've got a bit trapped maybe in some of the theme shows. So we are going to, obviously with the theme shows, we are going to keep the theme, but we're also going to be a little bit more loose with it. So it's not going to be totally just going over the top of the theme. We need to take into account the rankings and the people that are high up in there. So I don't really want to keep pushing certain people to get championship matches if they're really low in the rankings. So we'll definitely start to utilise the rankings a bit more from now. I think I mean, the more we go through this, the more we start to realise some pros and cons that we've done. But yeah, I think it's going to be a case that there might be some matches like this with the jobbers, but this is not necessarily that one-sided, is it really? Benoit not squashing Mago by any stretch of the imagination. And I say a win here will put Benoit up to -3, which is still pretty low in the rankings. Nice suplex there, hook the arms, not enough to keep him bridge for the pin though. Tomorrow then we start our St. George's Day shows. They should be pretty fun. Should be pretty fun. We've got some interesting matches lined up for you. Benoit now, big clothesline wiping out Mago. Chop across the neck, another big chop across the neck as well. And Benoit is definitely in firm control of this match now. I've got paper everywhere. So much paper as Benoit locking the sharpshooter. The most powerful move on this game, as we seem to have established now. The sharpshooter, and that is enough to give Chris Benoit the victory. Boy, did he need that. So Chris Benoit then now moves up to +3 in the rankings, whereas Mago will now drop down to joint bottom on -6. Boom, there we go. Yeah, he did need that, didn't he? Really needed that one. So yeah, I mean, I don't think there's going to be anyone will pit somebody right at the top of the rankings versus somebody right at the bottom. It's going to be a case of facing people that are in and around you. So we might see some matches like this, but that's only the people that have done badly in the rankings so far and are this low, really. So yeah, should be pretty interesting to see how this all pans out in the future. But it's a great victory there for Benoit. That moves him up the rankings a little bit. Still a long way from being considered for anything at the moment. But if he can put a few wins together like this, he might be able to really make a run of this in the future. Let's move on then to our second match of the evening. And that'll be this match, of course, Karen up against Hikaru Shida. Both these ladies currently on -3 in the women's rankings. So, should be very interesting to see how this one pans out. See, Karen's had a bit of an edit now. She's a bit smaller now. And a bit tubbier. And she actually has written across her front, "I want to see the manager." You know, proper sort of Karen stuff. Shida in with a pin. Wow, Shida's just aced it. Okay. She won that with a backbreaker, for God's sake. Okay, well. It is what it is, I suppose. Karen, Karen was on -2, not -3. She's on -3 now. And Shida moves up to -2. So that takes Shida from 107th up to 104th. Not ideal, but definitely a movement in the right direction for her. That was super, super, super quick, wasn't it? I was not expecting it to be that quick, to be honest, but there we go. Well, Benoit made a bit of a meal of Karen, but Shida definitely storms past... Benoit made a bit of a meal of a Mago, but Shida absolutely storms past Karen and gets the victory. Right, let's move on then to our main event of tonight's show. Now, this is going to be an interesting one. We're going into the top of the rankings for this one. And here is that main event. That it will be the Undertaker up against Mike Awesome. Both these guys currently on +5 points. And of course, the Undertaker will be accompanied to the ring by his fellow Ministry members, as we now know, discussed on our episode of Cyber Sunday this week. Of course, the Ascension, and Mr. Paul Bearer is also there. So both these guys, yeah, on +5. We haven't seen Mike Awesome, I don't think, since the... St. Valentine's Day Massacre pay-per-view. We haven't seen him since then. He had a fan. I think the majority of his ranking points come from the Legends Never Die Rumble. He did incredibly well in that. And then, yeah, we haven't seen him a lot since St. Valentine's Day Massacre as well. The Undertaker has had a lot of ups and downs recently. Most recently, he had a loss at a 6-man tag alongside the Ascension on Cyber Sunday. But this is a big one. This is literally a 2-pointer, because the winner of this one is going to get a point and the loser is going to lose a point. So one of these guys is going to end up on +6 and the other one's going to drop down to +4, which is still a good place to be. But that's the sort of idea behind this ratings war now, really, is just to sort of, yeah, create a little bit of difference between certain people to see where they belong. I mean, do both these guys deserve to be up on +5, or is one of them punching above their weight? Mike Awesome with a big German suplex. Massive German suplex. As Undertaker just flattens him, though, with a big right hand. Of course, the Ascension did have an opportunity at the YouTube Tag Team Championships on Cyber Sunday as well. They were unsuccessful in that one. As Mike Awesome bringing the Undertaker out into that powerbomb. And really working over the ankle here of the Undertaker. So yeah, Taker has been having a run recently to try and get himself towards that championship picture. He currently sits in 21st. A win here would take him up to 13th. Mike Awesome currently on 16th. A loss here would take him down to 22nd, essentially. So it's not massive difference, is it? But I think it's enough. It's enough to start moving you in the right direction. Undertaker now taking up Mike Awesome into the backbreaker. Awesome now brings Taker back up to a standing base and into that butterfly takedown. Undertaker now big headbutt on Mike Awesome. Awesome sends Taker into the corner and runs in with a clothesline. Mike Awesome now taking him up into the power bomb as well. Mike Awesome drops into the pin. Not enough, only a 1 count there. Taker with the big strikes. And again, you don't really want to get into a battle of the fists with the Undertaker, do you really? It's not a wise place to be as he runs through and flattens Mike Awesome with the senton. Only a 2 count though. I mean, just look at some of these now. Stevie Ray is at +4. Haku's at +4 as well. There's quite a few matches we probably should have to work things out as Mike Awesome breaks free from the attempted tombstone pile driver. Awesome now sends Taker into the corner. Awesome now sending Taker chest first into the corner and then into that big German suplex. And Mike Awesome in control of this one. I'm surprised the likes of... I don't know how to trigger it. Do you know how to set it up on the game to make the managers not interfere in the matches a bit more? Because it seems like these guys aren't doing it. I mean, you sort of think the likes of Paul Bearer and the Ascension will be trying to distract Mike Awesome and stuff like that, but they're not really doing that at the moment. Undertaker now going... Nope. Awesome fighting back. No, he doesn't. Second attempt, he does get that big vertical suplex on. And now Undertaker just choking away Mike Awesome. Mike Awesome fighting back with a strike. Sending Taker into the corner before following up with a big clothesline. Awesome again, sending Taker into the corner. Taker catching him a big back elbow, and again another jumping senton. And this has been a very tricky match, as it should be. These are two guys that are in... I don't know, is this like the top... What would it be? So... 20%... What would be... fifth of 20%. This is the top 4% of all people on our roster, these two. I figured it out in the end. And there's a tombstone pile driver by Taker into the pin. Will that be enough to keep Mike? That's a really weird position by the referee, but he's got it. And there is the win for The Undertaker against Mike Awesome. And that does have big impacts on the rankings there. Mike Awesome drops down to +4. The Undertaker moves up to +6, which means Taker now sits in 13th position in the rankings alongside Okada, Lance Archer and Zack Sabre Jr. all on +6 points. Well, there we go. That is our first episode of Ratings War. It is done and dusted. I hope it's been a good one. I think it's been an interesting sort of show to do every now and again. Whenever we have a spare day, just to be able to, basically just to be able to sort some of the rankings out. I mean, we've done some little bits. It's not making a massive difference, is it? I mean, we've got if you combine both rosters together, we've got about close to 700 people on the rosters combined. So to get them working in the right direction is going to take some time, but well, it all helps, doesn't it? And the Undertaker then is victorious. The Ministry is victorious. And this should be very interesting moving forward. Taker gets himself closer and closer to the top of the rankings. And I'm sure he'll be thinking about a championship match soon. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed. Of course, if you have, make sure you hit the like button. And, of course, subscribe if you're new around here as well. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you much for watching. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.